3 important takeaways for 2020 pandemic. I hope each of us, all of us, have learned a great deal because of last year 2020's pandemic. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you're working a corporate job, you're in sales, you're an independent contractor, whether you're in the travel business, entertainment business, restaurant business, manufacturer business, retail business, I hope you realize by now the pandemic had changed many people's life, have changed many people's financial status. And today I'm going to share with you 3 important takeaways personally for me. And I'm going to share with you what did I got out of it because of 2020 pandemic. The first takeaway, it takes a long time to build a company. It takes a long time to win, but losing will take one event, okay? If you look at the airline industry will not prepare. Look at some of the biggest airlines. They lost $160 billion of revenue because of one pandemic. They were not prepared for it. If you look at the restaurant industry, over 15,000 restaurants shut down permanently because of one pandemic. California, over 2,200 got shut down. I think Florida, 1,200. Texas, 1,300. New York, 1,300. Restaurant business never anticipated, never prepared for crisis like this. So it took them many years to build a successful business, but it takes one event. It took one event to wipe out everything that they built so far. So how is everything I just talked about relevant to you? Of course it's relevant to you. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, intrapreneur, a solopreneur, you're working for somebody, you are running a sales organization, you're building a local business, you're building a national brand. The bottom line is that you gotta constantly asking yourself questions. What if the worst happened to you? Do you have a solution for that before the worst actually happened to you? Let me explain to you what I mean by that. I'm in the life insurance industry for over 2.5 decades. I ran a sales organization from a little sales organization now to become a nationwide, humongous sales organization. I'm dealing with a lot of salespeople, a lot of managers, a lot of people in my organization. I have to ask myself a question. What if tomorrow, what if today, one of my biggest sales leaders got distracted? They want to leave, they want to quit. Well, maybe some of you need to ask that question as well. Maybe you need to work with and develop multiple leaders instead of depending on just one big leader. What if today your guys are not following compliance, right? In the life insurance industry, what we do, everything's about compliance. It's not just the front end. The back end is going to win the game along with the front end. What if 1 or 2 of my guys, screw up compliance? So what does that mean? That means I have to develop more compliance protocol. I have to strictly to enforce the compliance protocol. I have to be on my guys, even if they don't like it. It's not easy to be a tough leader to tell them the things that they don't want to hear. Everybody want to be loose and they want to do whatever they want to do. But sometimes if you're in a very regulated industry, like the life insurance industry, you got to be on your guys. What if one of the biggest client that you've been followed up for 6 months, they no longer want to open the policy, open the account, do business with you. Instead, they go to another competitive firm and do business with them. So maybe instead of focusing on one big client, you need to be working on 10 other clients along with this one big client. Another question you need to be asking yourself is, what if I run out of cash? Well, you need to learn how to sell. The number one skill set of any entrepreneur is learning how to promote, persuade, and sell and educate your product. If you can't close deal by yourself, it's very hard for you to lead hundreds of other salespeople to do the same thing. So you got to elevate, you got to master the skill set of closing deal and selling your product. Another question you need to be asking, what if you get sick one day? What if you're sick? Do you have leadership replacement? Do you have other people can replace what you do? Or is your entire business model, your entire business infrastructure all solely depending on you? If you want your business to last 10, 15, 20 years, you need to build a system. You need to have leaders who can replace what you do and build your entire business on a system. You don't want to build your business based on personality driven. You want to build a business based on system driven. So that's my first takeaway from 2020 pandemic is it takes a lot of time to win, but it takes one major event, one major crisis for you to lose everything. The question is, are you prepared for it? Do you have a solution for the worst? The second takeaway, study what is relevant in the marketplace today and master whatever is relevant from skill set, product, technology, so you can continue to excel your business. Always remember, what got you here might not get you there. And that's a book that I recommend all my audience to read, is What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith. Great book for a lot of you to read. So just because you are making big money right now, just because your company is doing right now, remember, to grow from a $10 million business to a $100 million business is totally different skill set, totally different a strategy, totally different technology to get you there. So always study what is relevant. For example, maybe 2 years ago, doing Zoom, doing virtual, doing FaceTime, using WebEx, using all these virtual platforms are irrelevant because we don't need to, because there were no pandemics. But today, you better be good in Zoom. You better be good in FaceTime. You better be good in using virtual platforms to promote what you want to share with the audience out there. So listen, you need to get into a business and you need to sell a product that's pandemic proof. You need to sell a product that's bulletproof. You need to sell a product, it doesn't matter the market go up or go down. Do you have a product like that? Because a lot of products out there are only favor when the economy goes up and everybody having fun time, happy time, they buy those products, right? But then there are some products that people only buy it when this crisis hit, when it's sad, right? Do you have a product that it doesn't matter if the economy is prospering or if the economy is crashing, if you know what I'm saying? That is what you need to be studying. That's what you need to be looking at, because you don't want another pandemic hits and then all of a sudden that the industry you're in, the career you're in are no longer needing your service, no longer needing your skill set. The last takeaway and the final takeaway is that you need to pick and choose an industry career carefully, where that particular industry and career allow you to make money virtually. We all know that if there is a COVID-19 pandemic happen in 2020, it's going to be another pandemic coming, whether it's 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. You know it. We had MERS before, we had SARS before, we had COVID-19 now, we have Ebola. Guess what? There's going to be another pandemic. The question for you is, are you ready for it? If you get wiped out because this is your first time, you were never prepared for it, because this is the first time you experience a pandemic like this, it's not your fault. But if you no longer thinking further, if you're not preparing further, if another pandemic comes 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, it's no longer other people's fault. It's no longer the government's fault. It's no longer anybody's fault. It is your fault because you are not looking far ahead. So my third takeaway for myself is that whatever you are doing, whatever I am doing today, can I make money virtually? Period. If today you still require to sell your product and offer your service physically with somebody, guess what? You're gonna be behind. You're gonna be wiped out if not a pandemic hits. So study, do your own research, and get into an industry career that allow you to continue to generate income virtually. So those are the 3 important takeaways for me for 2020. And post a comment below and share with me what are your takeaways from 2020 pandemic. And I would love to hear that from you. Again, if you feel that I have adding a lot of value to your life and business, please post a comment below, share my video, and most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I just launched a short while ago. JW here, see you next time. JW here. If you like my content, comment below and download my JW Just Win app. See you next time.